Please welcome back to the stage your QuickBooks MC, Lisa Ling.
Welcome back, everyone. How we feeling? How was Connect Fest last night? I heard some of you had a pretty late night. You accountants get a little crazy, huh? No, I hope you had a great time last night and yesterday as well. I know I definitely had an amazing day. I connected with a lot of people and was so inspired by all of our speakers. And that inspiration is going to continue today with our first panel. We have three amazing founders, each of whom have disrupted in industry in ways that you can't imagine. Let me quickly introduce them to you. Our first guest is Lisa Fetterman, co-founder and CEO of Nomiku, changing the way people cook. Lisa's going to come out, and while she's doing so, I will introduce Jen Rubio, who is the co-founder of Away, which is changing the way we travel. And finally, we have Randy Goldberg, co-founder and chief branding officer for Bombas, changing the way we look at socks. So, can we have our panelists come to the stage? Welcome, everyone. Randy, do you know how lucky you are to be sitting up here with all these Asian women? Do you realize the position you are in right now?
I worked really hard behind the scenes to pull this together.
Well, what I want to do first is have all of you explain what your business is. So Lisa, first off, Nomiku, what is it?
Nomiku, we invented the world's first home sous vide immersion circulator. How many people know what that is? All right. Yeah, and there was a woo. I like that. So it's a precise temperature heating tool that every single top chef in the world uses. We're on our third generation hardware device where we ship the food too. You wave our food in front of the machine, it instantly recognizes the time and temperature, and then you drop it inside the water. In 30 minutes, you have a Michelin-starred meal. Mwah.
Wait, you just wave it in front of the machine?
You just wave it, and the RFID recognizes it and goes in there. That's it.
Okay, that's incredible. Jen, tell us about Away.
Tough act to follow.
Yeah.
But Away is a travel brand, and we launched last year to make travel more seamless and more enjoyable. And we did that by starting with one product, which is Luggage, and it was really born out of a personal pain point. My luggage broke, and everything out there was either way too expensive or affordable, but you knew it would fall apart after a couple of trips. So we set out to create the perfect luggage and to think and talk about it in a way that resonates with the way people travel today.
And Randy, tell us about your sock brand, Bombas.
Yeah, hi. So Bombas is a comfort-focused apparel brand with a mission to help those in need. We found out that socks are the most requested clothing item at homeless shelters, and we decided to start a business to help solve that problem. So we figured if we can make the most comfortable socks in the history of feet, we'll sell a lot, and donate a pair for every pair we sell, and then we'll help solve the problem by donating socks to shelters and organizations all over the country, and we're just about to donate our 5 millionth pair of socks.
And before I met Randy, I actually let him know that I own Bombas socks, and they are incredibly comfortable. But it's interesting, your social mission was what came first.
Sure. So we started the business to help solve the problem, and then we started to look at the sock industry, and we realized there was an opportunity to reinvent socks, basically, to improve on a product that was an afterthought in the marketplace. So we set to work 2 years of research and development, created a product that we loved and we came up with, and then we put them out in the world to see if everybody else would love it, and it turns out, there is a market for more comfortable socks, better fitting socks. So
I feel like you need to make like the Bombas bodysuit because your socks like really fit the foot, and like you need that like cozy bodysuit. But anyway, that's my own.
New head of R&D.
We'll talk.
Bombas bodysuit. I like it.
Lisa, you had 2 very successful Kickstarter campaigns. Tell us about how that worked and why you think that became so successful.
I really hustled for my Kickstarter campaigns. I remember my first one. I tried first to get investor money, and no dice. People were like, what the heck is this? Nobody's going to cook this way. I was like, I'm going to show you. I went to every single restaurant that was hot. It was like this thing called the Eater Heat Map, and it shows you which restaurants are hot, and people would line up outside of those restaurants. I would go to those restaurants, talk to everybody in line about my product, give them samples of food. They were a captive audience. Soon, restaurants began to look for me and shoo me away as I got close. But that's how I made nearly $600K in 30 days for my first one.
Wow.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Was boots on the ground action. I took out like postcards. I just talked to actually everybody on the street. I was a crazy person, and still am.
We love crazy people. Jen, these statistics are pretty astounding. Your company has sold more than 50,000 suitcases, booked $12 million in sales in the first year, and expects to quadruple that figure in 2017. That's extraordinary. How are you managing this explosive growth?
So I actually looked into that this morning to get you some updated stats. We've sold, in the 20 months since we've launched, we've sold 200,000 suitcases, and 100,000 of them were in the last 100 days. So I think more money, more problems. It comes with a lot of things that we didn't think we'd have to be thinking about right now. But what we realized it all boils down to is people. It's the people inside the organization who are working together to make everything happen, and it's the people who are buying our products who we're constantly listening to. We're constantly iterating. We don't have generations of our products like you do with some hardware products, but we've rolled out dozens and dozens of rolling changes and improvements, and really are just listening to the customer. So I think that if we weren't addressing that feedback as quickly as we do, we wouldn't be seeing this kind of growth.
And how did you know that this industry needed disruption?
Well, it came from a personal pain point when I went out to replace my broken piece of luggage. And who's bought luggage recently not from Away? Okay, well, you guys can all return it. But it was a horrible experience. You're looking at all of these suitcases side by side. You don't know why this one costs $600 and this one that looks just like it costs like $60. Someone's like, oh, here's like a coupon for a discount, and you realize it's not an industry that you really know anything about. And this is also supposed to be the thing that you take with you on all of your travels and adventures, and it's something to accompany you on some of the most exciting moments of your life. So, we were just really inspired to create a brand out there that love travel as much as we do.
And tell us about how your luggage is unique.
So basically, it is just very high quality, top of the line materials. But because we're direct to consumer, we can offer it to people for a third of the price of something comparable out there. And the carry-ons have a built-in phone charger. There are also other great features. They're like a compression pad and a laundry bag. And basically, the way we designed it was we surveyed nearly 1,000 travelers to see what they really needed in their luggage and built the perfect bag around that.
And Randy, how hard was it to go out there with a mission of selling socks?
Yeah,
because
it's pretty hard when I don't think anybody
what
grows
was
up.
the marketing strategy there?
Yeah, I mean, you don't grow up dreaming of being in the sock business, right? I don't know if anybody out there has had that lifelong dream, but when we started, we had a similar story where we launched on Indiegogo, and we knew that we liked the product and our friends and family did, but we wanted to see some validation in the marketplace. So we'd be the people handing you socks at the gym, which is a little bit of a creepy thing to do, but you got to do what you can to get the word out there. And we just started to build a community of followers and evangelists. And as we built the business, word of mouth really counted for us. And again, it was also understanding what we were fighting for, why we had started the business, what our core values were, and the type of people that we wanted to hire. We always say just hire people smarter than you are to help do things that you have a weakness in. So.
And Lisa, what were your biggest challenges when you were first starting Nomiku?
So many challenges. The biggest thing was that we were making hardware, and hardware, like something that people had never heard of. Now people have heard of, thank you for the hand raises. We had to physically move ourselves out of the country. We lived in China next to our factory for 2 years. And I would literally turn on the lights and teach people day in and day out how to make the product. It led to actually us moving manufacturing all back to the United States. Because I was like, oh, I learned manufacturing here. I'm basically doing it anyways myself. Why not just do it somewhere closer to home? So those major challenges led to major revelations in how we build our product today and our the core way that our business works. So that huge challenge of not knowing how to manufacture and learning it from the ground up led to us iterating in the United States, which led to the third generation hardware product being made in 6 months. That's unheard of. Hardware cycles are 2 years, 3 years at best, even at the biggest companies. And we did it in 6 months, our latest one, because we made it in the USA.
Just for people who might be interested, what specifically are the differences between manufacturing in China and the US?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in China, they do a thing called the waterfall manufacturing method, whereas you have a perfect, complete product. During DFM, design for manufacturing, you have it all buttoned up. You're ready to just copy, 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 and have lines and lines of that product. And that is a huge issue if you're making a brand new product, because if there's anything amiss, then you have 1,000, 5,000, 6,000 pieces of something that you can't use. And then in America, you can do something called lean manufacturing, where you can close down one part of the line, a specific part of the line that your issue is coming from. And you're able to still not iterate as fast, not publish as fast, but you get more quality products, and you're able to have tighter control. So it's waterfall versus lean manufacturing.
And Jen, how about you? What were the most challenging aspects of starting your business away?
I think a lot of it had to do with I'd always, I'd worked my way up in a lot of different companies and always grown businesses for other people. And that was really exciting to see and really great experiences to learn from. But it kind of instilled something in me early on where I didn't feel like I could ask for something. For, for fear of rejection or just for fear that they would say no. And I think when you set out to start your own business, you realize that if you don't ask, you're not going to get it anyway. Yeah. So just going out there and just really putting ourselves out there. And I think that's how we've been able to partner with, not just our manufacturer and our investors, but a lot of the brand and celebrity partners that we've worked with. We would go in there and brainstorm, okay, here's our ideal investors, here's our ideal celebrity to do a partnership with. And we're like, okay, let's ask. I mean, if they say no, then they still won't be your partner. So it's worth just asking.
And Randy, I want to read something about your company as well. You mentioned that you're about to cross the 4 million pairs of donated socks. 5 million, which is extraordinary. But in your first year of business, you did $800,000 in sales for socks. Yesterday, we were hearing from a number of entrepreneurs who said that I'm always thinking about the next thing. Does that apply to you as well?
Our next business?
Or just what's the next evolution of your business?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're thinking about that all the time. I think one of the challenges is not getting ahead of yourselves and make sure that you're really laser focused on, if you have a product, making the best version of that product. If you have a mission, make sure that you're accomplishing that. We didn't know how to donate socks when we first started, and now we have a network of over 1,000 donation partners around the country. So building things like that were a real focus for us, and we do think about what's next, new products, international expansion, different types of ways to grow the business and to continue to build the brand of Bombas. But I think it always comes back to our core product, our core mission, and the people in our company. And if we focus on those things, everything else should sort of happen naturally.
What do you look for in the right business partner and also people who work for your company? Lisa?
Wow, this is a fun one because a lot of people who found companies are like, oh, I'm married to my co-founder. I'm like, oh, really? Where's the ring? I'm married to my co-founder. I just had a baby, which is why the ring's not on. I kind of grew out of it a little. But yeah, my co-founder is my CTO, my husband, my baby daddy. He's backstage with a newborn. Like, what I look for everything in life I trust them with. Everything, anything at all, and we can be telepathically linked. He's sending me messages right now. Don't embarrass me.
Fail already. And what about the people that you bring on to work for you, Lisa?
Oh, for me? I think anybody
They're her
can-
kids.
Yeah, exactly. I have 2 kids now. I'm training them. The folks who work for me all love food. They're deeply, deeply passionate, and that passion drives them to learn anything about the business, just like I have. I have specialized folks, who have done operations before, etc. But like all of them have a deep, deep-seated passion for food. Like something smells good, they're like, "Oh, that smells great," and we're all like, "Yeah, that smells good." We can all rally around that, and we like feel each other.
I have a feeling I have a feeling your office is probably a lot of fun, and there's a lot of food all the time, which means most people might want to stay away.
We're actually having an open house party tonight. All of y'all are invited if you want to come by. 14 to South Van Ness in San Francisco.
I love it. Jen, what do you look for in a partner and the people you bring on to work for you?
My co-founder and I are complete opposites. Very left brain, right brain. There's like nothing she's good at that I even understand, and vice versa. And I think that's totally paid off. It's allowed us to bring 2 totally different perspectives to the table. But I think in the beginning it was really hard because the things that I really valued and that drive me, like building a brand and creativity, were things that were so obvious to me. And all of the things that she really valued, like finance, were things that were not the most obvious to me. So I think in the beginning, it was a lot of education of like, hey, this is why it's so important to build a business with creativity and brand at its core. And she's like, and this is why it's so important that you're focusing on her P&L. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but I think us teaching each other like what the other person brings to the table has made it so that we just fully inherently trust each other with the size of the business that the other is an expert at. And because, if I was starting this business alone, I would know and be conscious of all the things I had to think about and focus on and be good at, which inherently means that the things I'm really good at, I'm not focusing on. So we really give each other a sense of freedom because we have totally different skill sets to just focus on the things that we bring to the table.
So you have a really good balance
Yeah.
together. Randy, how about you? What do you look for in a partner and the people you bring on to work for you?
I think some of these themes are right for me as well. Balance is key. So, my partner and the founding team, we all have things that we're really good at, but we have a shared outlook on the world as well. We all want to give back to the community. It's something we're aligned around, and the people who come and work at our company, they're all aligned around that idea as well. And I think today people want their job to fit into their life, and we're not asking people to walk into the door, do their job, and leave. We want it to seem like a natural part of the life that they're living. You spend a lot of time at work, so we want to create an environment that people like to go to. And building that culture is super important. Nobody's left our company in 4 years, and I think it speaks to the idea of really focusing on culture and people that fit into that mindset.
And which brings me to my next question. How would you describe the culture that you've built at your company? Randy, since we were talking about that?
Sure. I think it's thoughtful and inclusive. I think we're very community focused. We like to have fun. We always say, let's have fun doing this. We might as well enjoy our time there. So those are some of the big ideas. Yeah, you see a picture here. This is from an event we did in New York earlier in the year called 60K Day, when we found out that on any given night, 60,000 men, women, and children experience homelessness in New York. So we decided to donate 60,000 pairs of socks in one night. We got 60 companies that cared together and paired them each with a shelter. And we had 60 companies go out with 1,000 pairs of socks and donate their time in one night and shed some light and awareness on an issue that we care about. So
I think it's really interesting because it's true. Socks are things that people just don't donate? Because by the time people have gone through the cycle of their socks, they're pretty ratty by then. So
Most
there really is a
shelters don't
tremendous
even
need.
accept used socks, and that's a big part of the reason why this is an issue. You don't even realize it's an issue because there's hygiene issues around donating used socks. You can donate a used jacket, but donating a used pair of socks doesn't really make sense. It's a wear-through item, so there's a constant need. So we developed a special donation sock that has an antimicrobial treatment and reinforced seams. So we're donating a product that we helped develop with our shelter and donation partners.
Yeah, many people don't realize that that many shelters won't accept socks and underwear.
Yeah, exactly. Underwear as well.
Yeah. Jen, how would you describe the culture that you've created in your business?
I think first and foremost, at this speed that we're moving, something we've emphasized to everyone that works at Away is that it's a culture where we're inevitably going to be making mistakes because we are moving so quickly, and that's okay, and that's encouraged. And if you're not making mistakes, then you're probably just not moving quickly enough. So in that sense, we're very iterative. There's we'll set out with like, okay, here's what we're doing, here's the plan, and then it'll change about 100 times between when a project starts to when it launches. And those are the simple ones. But I think more than anything, we're really in it together, and there's a sense of having a shared mission and knowing why we exist and knowing the story we're trying to tell. So that sense of being in it together and that camaraderie really helps everyone kind of like really celebrate the things that are going well and really get through the things that are a little bit harder. And that's really what we value.
And how have you grown your business outside of luggage?
So we built this entire business on one suitcase, and different iterations of it and different colors and partnerships and things like that. So as we're becoming known as a brand that represents better and more seamless travel, over the last year we've been surveying all of our customers, just kind of random travelers that aren't customers, on what they need, what features those things need, and over the next year we'll be launching over a dozen products in at least the next 6 months. So we're just really listening to our customers. Our entire product roadmap is based on things people have asked us for. And we really just want to make the one perfect everything that you need for travel.
And Lisa, how would you describe the culture in your company? I can't wait to know the answer to this.
Have you ever watched a movie where like an improbable team of people come together and and start this company or fight this giant? I feel like that's us all together. We're like a ragtag team. We come from all sorts of weird backgrounds, like former journalists. Some people I would never have imagined that when I started this company, the people that I was working with, but we just all fit so well together because we're all so crazy. And if anybody steps to my door and they have passion, I'm like, can I hire you? No resume.
But I mean, you're joking about that whole crazy thing, but do you look for people who really think out of the box? Is that something that you look specifically to exploit?
Yeah, it's definitely something that's hard to articulate. Like the feeling when you just really connect with someone and you feel that they will connect with everybody else. That's why we call it culture at our companies, right? Because it's like it's unquantifiable sometimes. The thing that really makes it truly stick.
And what is the next evolution of Nomiku?
Nomiku, okay. Everybody is going to have a Nomiku in their kitchens. And if you don't have one today, I'm going to give one to you for free. Just meet me afterwards. I have cards. Yes.
Seriously?
Seriously. That's right. Because we have a new food program, and this is all to help people feed themselves really, really well. Like, I heard the story of folks who just ate their first tomato, right, in Iowa. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like first heirloom tomato? First, no, first tomato. And that breaks my heart. I remember the day that I truly, truly had something delicious for the first time, and it opens your eyes to the world. You're like, wow, what was I missing? It was like you were breathing smog your whole life, and then you get fresh mountain air. And I want that experience for everybody on planet Earth. And now that I've built the entire tech layer for the connected kitchen with hardware, software, and food, everyone can taste what it means to truly live with the mouth. I have to work on that. I'm going to work on that one. But you feel me.
Okay, Oprah. I mean, Lisa. This is very exciting. Who knew we were going to get Nomikus today? So you all are fairly young entrepreneurs. Is there someone that you seek out for advice? Lisa, I'll start with you.
Yoda?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yoda is like way chill. I want to be Yoda.
Jen, is there someone that you seek out for advice?
Her. I'm going to start calling her.
Yeah, we should all seek out Lisa Fetterman. Randy, is there someone that you seek out?
I think we keep it in the family. There's a lot of diverse personalities and people at our company, so everybody has a pretty balanced life, and we ask people to bring their experiences into the office, and there's a lot of opinions at Bombas, so there's enough to go around at the office. Yeah.
Well, I just want to thank all of our panelists, Randy from Bombas, Jen from Away, Lisa from Nomiku, and Lisa, I want you to be my best friend, okay? Can we?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you all so much for sharing your expertise. Thank you.